Welcome back for our Thursday restaurant edition of Business Opportunities Live. And today it's going to be an intimate conversation between Celeste and I because we are just infuriated. You can tell by the smile on my face, right? I'm just angry.
What do you do when you're upset? You laugh. You either laugh or cry. One of the two.
When I'm upset, I laugh. When I'm happy, I cry. It's just, isn't that the way it's supposed to be?
Yeah.
So I shared yesterday some frustration I had about the way the payroll protection program is going, and especially about the way it's going for me. Mm-hmm. And I got to tell you, I'm less than impressed with the expectations that were set and the government's fulfillment on those expectations. And I'm sitting here talking to Celeste before the show started just now, and I was saying, is anyone getting money? And she's like, yes. In fact, what's happening is they're getting the money, and then the advance is being pulled right back out the minute they get the money. So I'm
well, that's a little out of context.
So yeah, what is going on with that, Celeste?
It's funny. I work with a small development business center, and so all I'm doing right now, instead of helping open restaurants for them, is call people and try to get them loan information or unemployment or disability information. And, today when I saw that I had 25 people on my list to call and I saw on television that the loans were ended, I was like, oh my gosh, do we have any speaking points today? And
it's very, right?
it's very heartbreaking. Like they said today, they've made 14 years worth of loans that they've normally made in 14 days. And I think Congress really underestimated the amount of economic aid that we're needing in all industries. So it's kind of frustrating. I'm still telling people we are going to be posting some contact numbers so that you can possibly get some information about your account for the PPP. And this one I post is for the EIDL. But we just have to keep our faith going and, get your stuff ready for when it opens again for other people that haven't already applied, because they will refund it. It may take several weeks.
When you say refund it, what are you referring to exactly?
Well, there's lots of talk right now that Congress is trying to get more funding added to the program. So. At this point, it doesn't look like they're going to start a whole new program. They'll probably just add the funding into what's currently there. But at least that's what I think they would do.
I hope they do not start a whole new program.
Yeah. They've got the infrastructure now,
Yeah, well, I'm still curious about that because I registered 3 times for the EIDL loan. 3 different times. And then the last call I had with the SBA, they said, if you applied before March 31st, you need to reapply again. And I had applied. I applied on March 14th. I applied on March 22nd. I applied on March 31st. So I was covered at that point. But that was only because their process and their systems were so poor. I had no confidence that the systems were actually working.
I know. Yesterday I was talking to a business owner. They do all of the transportation for LAUSD buses and for UCLA. And I was asking when they applied, and they told me like a month ago, and they didn't get a confirmation number. And I'm like, oh my God. This is like we're not funding a really essential function for us to get started back, for the school system. And so, we're trying to see what's happened there, if he is in there or not. It's very uncomfortable.
Well, yeah. So this phone number
know.
that you gave me and the email address you gave me, is this something we can actually expect a person at the other end to engage with us?
I would say if you're calling, you're going to try the phone line, you could probably be there for hours. I don't know what the situation is there, particularly after the news today. I would send the email on for sure. I'm sure someone will get to that at some point.
Should I try and dial that number while we're talking and see how long we're on hold for? I'm going to do that.
Oh my God.
No,
Anyway.
seriously, I want people to really get the experience, right?
Yep. Hey, while you're doing that, I'm going to give a couple updates to restaurants.
Go ahead.
One of them is that they've changed some of the California alcohol distribution regulation during COVID. So if you had a license where you could sell on-site alcohol for service inside your restaurant, you can now provide alcohol service through delivery and your curbside service. So that'll be available just during the COVID-19. So that might be another avenue. You can open up your own personal liquor store, I guess.
Oh, that is awesome. Can I do that, please?
All the drinks have to be sealed, though. They have to have covers and seals. So I guess put your lid on them and then put plastic wrap or something to seal it there. And then also, I just want to reinforce with people the necessity to really monitor their employees for their own protection and for the customer's protection. I was getting some free food from someone earlier last week, and they're like, "Would you like a free meal to go?" Because I had stopped in to do something. I'm like, "Yeah, great." Then I noticed the cook was eating while he was cooking my food, and that is something that is totally off limits at this time for sure. In fact, the cooks should even have masks on. Anyone handling food should have masks and do frequent hand washing. And yeah, and LA right now says that if you're going out as a customer, you have to have a mask. So it'll be our duty to stop customers coming in that are displaying symptoms or not having masks on. So just a couple updates there.
Hey, Celeste, the number I dialed, it's the standard number for the SBA.
Okay.
And so I hung up because I've actually had really good success. When I call that number, it takes about 5 minutes for me to get through to someone.
Oh, good.
It's right. But here's the thing. They're not armed with information.
Yeah, that I agree.
They're unable to look up my application. They can't tell me when I'm going to hear. They say, well, in the beginning, it was 2 weeks. Now it looks like it'll be 3 weeks. But they're inundated. They have no way to know.
Yeah, you're very true. When they're having people like me help them.
Oh, fine. I want to say, I think here's the thing. You are an amazing resource, and you've got great contacts and connections. I know that when I need an answer to a question, if I call you up, you know where to go, right?
There you go.
So I would so back that up and say, maybe you don't feel effective because you can't get the details you want for people that you would want to get for yourself.
I like to be 100% accurate before I tell people things. I hate that uncertainty or later they'll see something and it's not right. I just don't like to do that. But,
no, it's okay. It's okay that you don't have all the answers. It's really okay, Celeste.
Yeah. Well, and I do restaurants, but I also have a certification in HR, and I do spend a lot of time right now helping people to understand the unemployment thing. So I'm finding a lot of people that are actually S Corps don't realize they can right now be getting unemployment. So on April 18th, they'll be opening up the unemployment portal for gig workers and the self-employed. So
let's talk about that. I have a few questions, and if anybody's watching and has questions, type them in and let us know. But so Celeste, you're talking about self-employed individuals, people that own an S corp. If you're an LLC, owner of an LLC, I would imagine that qualifies. If you're the executive, like a one-person C corporation or closely held C corp, and you're getting a payroll from the C corp, you can apply. You couldn't you apply like right now?
Yeah, that's what I'm finding is like I'm an S corp. I've pay myself out a paycheck every week, pay my payroll taxes to the government. And so those people I'm finding are not thinking, they're still thinking I'm the business owner, you know. They don't think that they're also considered an employee. So if your payroll has been reported and they've been withholding taxes on you, you're eligible right now.
What if
the gig and the sole proprietors, they may have more difficulty with the current system, but with the new system, which they're having to build from scratch, which they say is going to be just as large, if not larger, than the employee rank.
Yeah, it will be larger.
It's going to be huge, and every state's going to, there'll be some states that are quicker to get it going than others. So,
well, I'm curious about a couple things because, business owners take their compensation a lot of different ways. Mm-hmm. And you may not have insight on it, but one example that I hear a lot from the business owners I work with is they'll pay themselves a draw every month. Mm-hmm. And then on December 31st, they'll go ahead and their CPA will calculate everything up and say, okay, write yourself a paycheck for this amount. And then they'll pay their taxes on that amount, but it'll be for the whole year.
Yeah.
Right. And, but now it's already April and they've been, again, doing the draw every month and not paying taxes yet, but they've got taxes they paid from last year. So they've got documentation for that and they filed for that. How is that going to be handled? Do you have any insight, Celeste?
I don't have any insight at all on that. I'm afraid I'm not the tax girl.
No,
so maybe
but
someone we need to get on. We need to get someone on here one of these days.
Well, yeah, you know what?
Unemployment, I don't know. I don't know how they're going to handle figuring out people's payroll time, during this time period. Mm-hmm. I think what they're going to do is just automatically give them the $600 and not calculate out like if there was additional benefits. Because right now you're going to get from March 29th through July 31st, you'll get your normal calculation, which is they take the last year's highest quarter of payroll and they divide it by 26, and that's what you get. So it's only going to be a few $100. The max was $450. Now they're going to add $600 a week on top of that. So for some people, that may have been, like a restaurant worker who gets $12 an hour and works 20 hours a week. They might have only gotten $80 on unemployment, but now it's going to be $680 a week. So it could actually be where some people it's more profitable to be on unemployment than to be working. But you do have to also be willing to work. If you put on your application that you're not looking for a job, you won't get paid, even though it's in COVID-19. So you better put on there, I'm looking, and go file your resume on the other link that they have for the Cal Jobs or whatever.
Right.
Agreement and get anything.
Well, I mean, what I hear in that is, first off, if you're on unemployment, it's your obligation and your promise to be looking for work.
Yeah.
So that's just straight out. But if you're on unemployment and you're looking for work, what I heard is the opportunity is for as much as $450 a week.
Plus 600.
Yeah. Plus 600 a week from the government, from the federal government. Mm-hmm. So, while that may be a lot more for some people,
it's a lot less for others.
It's a lot, but it's, and here's again, I'm going to just say, my confidence in government programs, especially the ones from the federal government at the moment, is not high.
Yeah.
I've heard about people seeing the $1,200 hit their account for that one-time payment. That's really great. But I haven't had any good experience myself or with others that I've been helping or hearing about around the EIDL or the PPP.
Yeah.
Not that that's just a cure-all or end-all, but that's just the way it's going. So, Celeste, I just kind of curious, like if you were to provide some words of wisdom to someone that's trying to get some government support to get through this, what would you say?
Pray.
Oh my God.
I think the government is trying to do, and I have to say, I feel very fortunate I'm in the state of California, because I feel like our government and even our Los Angeles leadership are really trying to look out for our well-being. But with everything, we're in a I guess our minds is fast like the internet. We want everything quick and right to our fingertips. And we are facing something right now that is going to probably be the biggest economic and health crisis that we'll ever face in our lifetimes and of this century. And I think that as much as we're struggling, we also have to have patience, because it's amazing for me to even think that the government could put together a loan program that's going to finance so many people in 14 days. To me,
what? Thank you for that.
I look at it in that aspect, it's like, that's really incredible for a big bureaucracy like we have, that they can even get anything going that quickly.
No, that's really great to hear you say that, Celeste, because, I've been really jaded this week and really angry this week.
Mm-hmm.
And I think having that perspective, right, it doesn't matter. There are a lot of things that matter right now. And I guess maybe having a little generosity for the hard work that the government is doing. And it's not perfect. And they're doing everything they can. And there are mistakes. And there are systems that don't work. And they're right back at there, committed to have them work. It's just not effective. And I think that's what we're all having to manage.
Yeah.
The level of ineffectiveness that's showing up, and trying to figure out how we can move forward with our lives and with everything we have going on with that level of ineffectiveness.
Yeah, I wish I wish we would have got on this much earlier when we first started hearing things about it. We might be in a different place now. But for myself, just as an individual citizen, I've just started saying, all right, I have to know that there's things that are out of my control, and I'm fortunate to be one of the people that isn't paycheck to paycheck. I have savings, so I'm not feeling it. Like, I'll be all flustered and just going nuts, and then I'm like saying, well, you do have money in the bank. It's still going to go on, where I know I have ex-employees from restaurants that probably are going to food kitchens right now to get food, and it's just so disappointing.
Well, you know what? Thank goodness there are some organizations out there doing everything they can to help others.
Yeah.
And I know there are a lot of stories about all of the help that people are needing and receiving, and the hours that they'll wait in line to get food. But I just, I think I want to end today just being grateful. I'm grateful for all the people in my life that make a big difference, for the people that are really committed to supporting the efforts that I'm involved in, and the people that need extra support. And also even for the folks in our government that are not fulfilling the needs of a lot of people, but knowing that that's their goal, and they're really being as unstoppable as they can be. And it really sucks when it's not effective.
Yeah.
And
I think right now there's so much distraction on political things that they could be using a lot of that energy toward fixing the problem,
Yeah.
But today I just said, okay, I've got to cut the TV off more. I know what they're saying on the TV. I've seen it every hour in just different interpretations.
Right.
And I went out on the walk, and I was like grateful for my beautiful bird, and that there was not a cloud in the sky. And then I had animals.
Today is the day. It's like 80 degrees and sunny. But
I know.
I'm taking a walk right after this, for sure. Hey, Celeste, that's really awesome. I just want to thank you for your commitment and for being my partner in this today. And next week, let's bring some business owners back in and introduce them, give them a chance to shout out for their business and what they're doing. Is there anything you want to say in closing today?
No, I just would say, like, if any of you have businesses out there that may not even be restaurants, but any type of business, if you'd like to be on our call and share your experiences on what you're doing to stay open, or any struggles you have, please send us an email here, or type in the text box, and we'll get back to you.
Yeah, there's my email right on the screen. Feel free to let us know, and then, as Celeste said, you can always put a comment in the comments field, and I'll reach right back to you, and we'll set up a time. We want to help promote businesses in our area, and we want to help you solve problems that you're experiencing. And we have tools and resources to bring into the conversation, so feel free to use us. So perfect. Okay, well, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Celeste. Really great talking to you guys today. I'll see you tomorrow when we have Todd Gervis coming back. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I'm not even good at Facebook, okay? I'm terrible with selfies and stuff.
Oh, there, how's that? Is that close?
There you go.
Anyway, you guys have a great day. Take care.
All right.